Good morning, Adam. How are you?
Good morning, Kevin. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. In a recent episode, we talked about a vision board and what that means to us and why we do it. What we're going to expand upon in this episode is a broader sense of personal development. And the reason we're going to talk about that, you may be thinking to yourself, this is an investing show. Well, I would venture and I would argue for it. It's debatable that personal development and investing have a lot of parallels. There is so much to it. There's always barriers you're trying to navigate through, obstacles you're trying to overcome, and bettering yourself can help you become a better investor. So that's what we're talking about today, the things that we've developed as people throughout our journey.
Yeah, that's great. I, yeah, it resonates with me the idea that personal development is part of real estate investing or wealth creation or really any goal you're going after,
I
any type
agree.
of goal. Yeah. So, part of that, part of personally developing is to become aware of some of the areas that you need to grow and start to push through those. So we all have that no matter who you are, how successful you are, or how far you've gone. You're going to be working on something if you want to continue to grow. So,
Yeah.
Kevin, I'm sure you and I are both working on things right now.
Yeah.
What's one thing that you're working on?
As part of the vision board episode, we talked about the home plate that you can see in the background. It might be hard to see, but the reason it's up there is I got to get ready to swing the bat and be okay with the results. And I have hangups about failing, whatever it may be. I just don't like the idea of failure. It's conditioned into me, and I'm trying to break through that. And doing that would be taking action and being okay with the results, knowing that I'm giving my all, I'm doing my best to put the very best foot forward to make the best swing at the ball, if you will. And whatever happens, whether that's a single, whether I strike out, whether I hit a home run, being okay with that because I knew that I did everything I could to prepare. A lot of investors will tell you that it's not a matter of if you lose money, it's going to be when. And I guess that idea for me is scary because it's like someone else's money. The idea of losing it's like, damn, will they want to invest it with me again? What type of relationship will that create between myself and the investor? But that's just part of the game. So building that mental fortitude and accepting that no matter what happens, that I tried my absolute best. I did as much due diligence as I could. I got a second set of eyes on it. I asked my mentors and then being okay with the results. So that is probably for me the biggest thing that I'm working through investing.
Yeah, and I think that has to be the number one for most people, the fear of failure. Especially for people who are currently successful in a career, a W-2, a day job. They're the fear of failure is off the charts
Right.
for these people. And for me,
Yeah, and
I
if you did
same
the
way.
whole, do well in school type of thing and
Right.
you don't get rewarded for failure, you get rewarded for getting A's or whatever, right? Getting a perfect GPA to get into a great school and all that other fun stuff. But nobody would really talk to you and say, "Hey, you failed. What did you learn? It's not really expanded upon in that. It's you failed. There's something wrong with you. You need to be getting A's."
Yeah, that can become such a deep-seated mindset that people don't even recognize it for what it is. They don't see it as a fear for failure, and they even characterize it in different terms. I'm a I'm a perfectionist, or I want things to be very high quality or just right, but that's not really what is going on there. It's a
Yeah,
fear of failing.
absolutely.
Have to have it right the first time. All of those things indicate you're not meeting your full potential.
And as part of trying to get past that fear of failure, you have to take action. So there's a lot leading up to it to try and get past it that I think is also good. Being okay with the asking for, hey, investors, I have an opportunity. Which, by the way, we're not soliciting. We're just saying that the relationships we have with people, trying to let them know, hey, this is what's happening, and then being okay with if somebody says that's not exactly what I'm looking for at the moment, or that rejection of not at this time. oh, it doesn't fit my criteria, whatever that may be, being okay with that. But you have to ask for the things that you want. And that's a way of you getting after it.
Yeah. And I believe that fear of failure persists even when you gain success. So it's something I think a lot of people have to work on continuously. In some ways, when you get some success, it makes it harder because now all of a sudden you feel like, oh, you've got some sort of a reputation to uphold, and
Right.
I don't want to let people know that I'm not successful in some way. And it almost gets worse.
Yeah, we just interviewed a guest who, on his sixth deal, lost hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? And that's huge. Again, there was a lot to be said there. And the fact that he was willing to share, which you'll hear it in the episode. I don't want to butcher the story, but to the ownership that he took on that and what he learned was absolutely the
It was
way
impressive.
we should approach these things.
Yeah. Yeah, it was impressive. And that guy pushes through a lot of fear.
Yeah, agree. That's part of developing yourself as a person, growing, and being successful in anything. So, what are you working on, Adam? What are some things that you're jumping over?
So I deal with that one as well, but the thing that comes to mind right now that I'm actively working on is a shift out of a scarcity mindset and
Mm-hmm.
into an abundance mindset. It's it's really profound to me how deep seated some of these things can be. I mean, this has somehow been ingrained into my core since I was very young. And so breaking out of this idea that I need to be super frugal and save on every single thing and accumulate money into a savings, it's actually harder to get away from than you might think. And it's not that I don't love to splurge or buy something expensive. It's this deep-seated nagging thought that if I do that, I'm sacrificing future security. And
Ooh, I
it's
like that.
just man, it's amazing how powerful that is. So I'm working really hard to break out of that and replace it with this idea of an abundance mindset where there there is enough for everyone. If I create value and create income streams, revenue streams, I will have what I need, and I will, continue to be able to get more and be able to cover what I need.
Very much so. Breaking it down with the secure. Let's hypothetically, if $100 a month was providing you this security in one aspect of your life, if you bought an asset to cover that $100 a month, then you have two things. You have that it's a passive income, but it's also providing you that security. So that's a great way of trying to shift through it.
Yeah, and for me personally, it's weird because I understand and truly value. I'm fully bought into the idea of investing and creating wealth and creating passive income to provide for your needs. The part that's getting me is resisting the urge to not spend the dollar and to hang on to every penny I get and
Right.
not want to lose it. That's the part I'm really battling with right now. So,
Yeah. And I wish I could say that it does it you could do things with no money in general, but that's generally not the case. So you put money towards marketing, you're going to put money towards going to grab a coffee or buy an investor lunch to meet with them or
mhm.
something like that, right? There's you're going to spend money, and that's um, part of the journey, I would say.
Yeah, yeah, agreed. So, part of breaking through something like that is, first of all, recognizing it,
Exactly.
you know, um, admit to it, face it, and take action towards making improvements in that area. Then occasionally assess where you are, how much progress you've made, and how much more you need to make as you continue to push forward.
Yeah, there's a lot of golden nuggets you said there, recognizing it. I think you and I are the same where we're really introspective with how we operate. What did we do well? What did we not do well with
Hmm.
a particular situation, how things have progressed in our lives. I have a natural tendency to do that, and I think for me, journaling has helped a ton. Talking to people, I've seen a therapist about the whole trying to get past failure, an additional set of eyes, and that helps too, right? If you are having trouble seeing things in a different perspective, find somebody that can help you. That's where coaches come into play. That's where mentors come into play. There's so much power in that because you have a frame of mind that you've created, right? You've built this perspective over the experiences in your life, and combine that with your conditioning, your nurturing. You have a frame, a lens, if you will. So in order to break past that, you have to have some way of removing it, and it's harder to remove some of these lenses for others than it is for you and I. And some people are not willing to take those lenses off. So that additional help, saying, "Hey, this is how I'm viewing your situation. How you can help it is huge." There's nothing wrong with saying, "Hey, I need help. I need to figure out." I look at it as a sense of abundance. Somebody out there has a skill set that can help push me past where I'm stuck. Why wouldn't I go to them?
Exactly. Getting help is so valuable, so key to moving past it. And it's not something to be ashamed of or to think, oh, well, I wasn't good enough to do it on my own. It's to be thought of more as a tool, a way to help
Yes.
you get where you need to be. And it's so courageous to take the step to reach out to someone for help.
Yeah. I would also say that when you do become aware of the things that you are trying to get past, just accept that it's there. Don't beat yourself up over it because it's part of what makes you you. It's part of like your journey, if you will. And trying to compare it to others is a terrible, terrible move.
It is. That
Yeah,
is,
just
yeah, I've
it's
been
easy
there too.
to. It's
It is.
easy to, but just know that ultimately what I'm getting at is when you recognize that this is what I want to change, that's good. Like that is absolutely the first step. And now you can figure out, oh, this is the problem that I'm having or the obstacle. Now I can do research and figuring out how to move past it. There are books about it, there are podcasts about it, there are people you can talk to. Reach out to us, see if we can help.
Absolutely. I think internally, for those who beat yourself up or have some negative self-talk, it's very important to get over that and not have negative self-talk, have positive self-talk, and really accept that where you are is okay, and you're going to move past it, but don't beat yourself up over it.
And we could talk about this all day. And I love that investing, like personal development, the success, getting the deal, the success of achieving a goal, to me is those two are more byproducts as opposed to a result. The habits that you instill into your daily life of meditation, of journaling, of networking, of analyzing deals, that is what will provide you with the success that you want. It's not a recipe per se, but the more and more you do those things, the greater the likelihood or the outcome that you will achieve what it is you want.
Yeah, and you touched on this when we got started on this episode. I'd like to touch on it again here near the end about how we're talking about this on an investor show because these are things that will make you a successful investor. If you're able to use some of these tools and techniques effectively, then it is going to increase your success level. It's going to help you build the lifestyle you want to build through investing. And that's why it's so important to talk about.
So reach out. Let us know if there's any way that we can help you. If you want to just bounce ideas off of us, using us as a sounding board, we'd love to help out however we can. Techguyswhoinvest@gmail.com. Thanks, everybody, and good luck.